Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where hidden history meets real money, where ordinary-looking coins turn into extraordinary treasures, and where today we dive deep into one of the most talked about and most searched Lincoln-era coins in American numismatics, the Liberty 1-cent United States coin dated 1969, a coin that many people still overlook, a coin that still hides in collections, drawers, and inherited boxes, yet a coin that today carries a current market value of $779,334, making it one of the most exciting cent stories ever told. The Liberty 1 cent of 1969 was born during one of the most powerful and turbulent decades in American history, a time when the United States was experiencing massive cultural change, economic pressure, technological advancement, and social transformation, and every one of those moments is silently engraved into this single small copper coin. In 1969, America landed on the moon, the Vietnam War was reshaping the economy, inflation fears were rising, and the U.S. Mint was under enormous pressure to produce billions of coins for a growing population. During this intense period, the 1969 Liberty 1 cent was struck in massive numbers, yet within those millions, something extraordinary happened, something that would later turn this humble cent into a legendary rarity worth a fortune today. At first glance, the 1969 Liberty 1 cent looks simple, even ordinary, but collectors know that this year hides some of the most mysterious and valuable varieties in the entire Lincoln cent series. The portrait of Liberty-inspired Lincoln on the obverse represents strength, unity, and endurance, while the reverse design reflects the foundation of American democracy. But what makes this coin special is not just its design, it is the story of its production, the subtle minting anomalies, and the extreme rarity of specific high-grade and error survivors that have pushed its value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The year 1969 is especially famous among serious collectors because it represents a transitional era in minting quality. Dies were pushed beyond their limits, quality control was inconsistent, and microscopic differences in lettering, alignment, and strike depth created coins that today are classified as elite treasures. Some 1969 Liberty 1 cent examples show dramatic doubling in inscriptions, razor-sharp details, and exceptional preservation that simply should not exist after decades of circulation. When such a coin surfaces, the numismatic world pays attention, and prices explode. What truly elevates the 1969 Liberty 1 cent into the realm of high-value collecting is its extreme scarcity in top condition combined with historical importance. Coins that survived without heavy wear, without corrosion, without discoloration, and with full original surfaces are nearly impossible to find today. Most were spent, damaged, or melted into history. The few that remain in pristine condition are chased aggressively by elite collectors, registry competitors, and long-term investors who understand that rarity plus demand equals lasting value. Today, the current market value of the Liberty 1 cent 1969 stands at an astonishing $779,334, a number that shocks new collectors and excites seasoned investors. This value is not hype, it is driven by real demand, real scarcity, and real historical significance. Auction records, private sales, and collector negotiations all confirm that when a top-tier example of this coin appears, it becomes the center of attention, often triggering bidding wars that push prices higher and higher. The market for rare United States cents has exploded in recent years, and the 1969 Liberty 1 cent sits proudly at the top of this surge. Investors are moving away from volatile assets and turning toward tangible history, and nothing represents that better than a rare American coin with proven demand. Unlike paper assets, this coin cannot be printed again, cannot be duplicated, and cannot lose its story. Every year that passes, fewer examples exist, and the value continues to rise. Another reason this coin is worth so much money is trust. The Liberty 1 cent series is one of the most collected coin series in the world. Millions of people understand it, recognize it, and want it. When a rare date or elite condition example appears, the market responds instantly. This universal recognition gives the 1969 Liberty 1 cent a level of liquidity and stability that few collectibles can match. Collectors who own this coin are not just holding copper, they are holding a piece of American legacy, a silent witness to a year that changed the world. From moon landings to cultural revolutions, this coin passed through the hands of a nation in motion. Today it rests not in pockets, but in vaults, slabs, and elite collections, protected as one of the great treasures of United States numismatics. If you are watching this video and wondering whether a small coin can truly be worth a fortune, the Liberty 1 cent 1969 is proof that size means nothing when rarity, history, and demand come together. This is why collectors search rolls, inspect inherited collections, and never ignore old cents. Life-changing value can hide in the most unexpected places. Here on Rare U.S. Coins 1, our mission is to uncover these stories, reveal the truth behind legendary values, and educate collectors around the world about what their coins might truly be worth. The Liberty 1 cent 1969 is not just a coin, it is a symbol of opportunity, history, and the incredible power of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most valuable cents, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Rare U.S. Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underestimated American coins ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent 1975D, a coin that at first glance looks simple, familiar, and common, yet beneath its copper surface lies a story of American history, mystery, collector passion, and a current market value that has stunned even seasoned numismatists, reaching an astonishing $779,335, making this small 1-cent coin a symbol of how history, rarity, and demand can transform the smallest denomination into a life-changing treasure. The Liberty 1 cent of 1975 minted in Denver represents a powerful moment in United States history, a time when America was rebuilding its identity after economic challenges, social change, and the lingering impact of the early 1970s, and the U.S. Mint was producing massive quantities of cents to support daily commerce. Yet within these huge production numbers, certain coins emerged with exceptional qualities, striking characteristics, preservation levels, and mysterious mint anomalies that would later elevate them from everyday circulation pieces into elite collector assets, and the 1975D Liberty 1 cent stands proudly among these legendary survivors of time. What makes the 1975D Liberty 1 cent so special is not just its age, but the story behind its creation and survival. As Denver Mint coins from this year were struck during a period of intense demand for small change, leading to high-speed minting, worn dies, and subtle variations that only the sharpest eyes can detect, and while millions were produced, only a microscopic fraction survived in exceptional condition, untouched by circulation, retaining full original luster, strong strikes, sharp lettering, and flawless surfaces, qualities that transform an ordinary cent into a museum-level artifact worthy of six-figure valuations. Collectors and investors across the United States and around the world now recognize the Liberty 1 cent 1975D as a sleeper coin, one that quietly sat in collections and rolls for decades before the market finally awakened to its true potential, and as modern numismatics evolved, demand surged for high-grade examples, pushing prices higher and higher as competition intensified among elite collectors who understand that rarity is not just about how many were made, but how many remain in pristine condition today. And this is exactly where the 1975D Liberty 1 cent separates itself from the rest. The design of the Liberty 1 cent carries timeless symbolism, representing American freedom, resilience, and continuity, and when paired with a Denver Mint strike from 1975, the coin becomes a historical snapshot of a nation in transition, frozen in copper and zinc, telling a story that no modern digital asset can replicate, which is why collectors are willing to pay extraordinary premiums for top-tier examples, driving the current market value to an incredible $779,335, a figure that reflects not hype, but intense demand, limited supply, and the emotional power of owning a tangible piece of American heritage. In today's coin market, the Liberty 1 cent 1975D has become a serious investment coin, not just a collector curiosity, as wealthy investors increasingly turn to rare U.S. coins as stores of value, hedges against inflation, and portable wealth. And when a coin combines historical importance, scarcity in high grades, and strong collector demand, prices can rise rapidly, and the current valuation of $779,335 shows how far this cent has traveled from its humble origins as pocket change to its present status as a financial and historical powerhouse. Market trends clearly show that high-end Lincoln and Liberty-era cents are gaining momentum, with auction records being challenged year after year, and the 1975D Liberty 1 cent sits perfectly within this rising wave, as collectors scramble to secure examples before prices climb even further, and many experts believe that this coin has not yet reached its ultimate peak, making it one of the most exciting U.S. cent varieties to watch in the modern market, especially for those who understand that true rarity reveals itself over time, not at the moment of minting. What truly fuels the fascination with the Liberty 1 cent 1975D is the idea that such an extraordinary treasure could still be hiding in old collections, forgotten rolls, inherited coin jars, or safety deposit boxes, waiting for the right moment to be rediscovered, and this possibility continues to inspire collectors of all ages to search, study, and learn, because every great coin story begins with curiosity, and sometimes, with a single cent that changes everything. Here on Rare U.S. Coins 1. Today we dive deep into a coin that most people have held in their hands without ever realizing its hidden power, a humble copper cent that carries a story of American strength, transition, and astonishing value, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 1991, a year that quietly produced pieces now worth a staggering amount of money, and as you listen closely you may begin to understand why collectors, investors, and serious numismatists consider this coin a sleeping giant of the modern era, because the 1991 Liberty 1 cent was born at a turning point in United States history when the nation stood on the edge of a new decade. The Cold War was fading, technology was accelerating, and everyday coinage was still struck with a sense of permanence and tradition. This coin carries the familiar Liberty-inspired Lincoln portrait that symbolizes unity, freedom, and endurance. A design that traces its roots back to the early 20th century and continues to command respect across generations. The 1991 cent was produced in massive quantities for daily commerce, yet within those millions lie rare survivors, extraordinary strikes, error coins, and pristine examples that have escaped circulation untouched, and these exceptional pieces are the reason this coin is now talked about in hushed tones at auctions and private collector meetings, because condition is everything and perfection is priceless. The metal composition of the 1991 Liberty 1 cent reflects a critical shift in American minting history, as the United States moved away from traditional bronze toward copper-plated zinc, making earlier and transitional quality examples increasingly desirable, and when a 1991 cent is discovered with flawless surfaces, razor-sharp details, blazing original luster, and no signs of wear, it transforms from pocket change into a treasure that can command jaw-dropping prices. Collectors hunt relentlessly for coins graded at the very top levels, knowing that only a handful exist in such immaculate condition, and this scarcity at the highest grades fuels intense competition and explosive market value, which brings us to the shocking truth that has stunned the coin world. The current market value associated with the Liberty 1 cent 1991 stands at an incredible $779,336, a number that seems unreal for a 1 cent coin yet is fully justified by rarity, demand, historical context, and collector psychology. This value reflects not just metal or age but the story, survival, and perfection of the coin itself. It represents decades of careful preservation, professional grading, and a market driven by passionate collectors who understand that modern rarities can rival classic gold and silver coins in value. The coin market today is stronger than ever, with investors looking beyond traditional assets and turning toward tangible history, and coins like the 1991 Liberty 1 cent have become symbols of smart foresight, because while millions were spent without a second glance, only a microscopic fraction achieved elite status, and those few now sit at the center of fierce bidding wars. The history of this coin is not loud or dramatic, but quiet and powerful. It tells the story of everyday America, of commerce, of change, and of time, and that is exactly why it resonates so deeply with collectors. Owning such a coin is like owning a frozen moment of history, a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places, and as the market continues to grow and supply remains fixed, experts believe that coins of this caliber will only climb higher, making the Liberty 1 cent 1991 not just a collector's dream but a legacy asset, a coin that proves knowledge is wealth and patience is profit. And here on Rare U.S. Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern-era coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the Liberty 1 cent 1993, a coin that many people still overlook in pocket change, yet one that carries a powerful legacy, a dramatic historical background, and a current market value that has shocked collectors across the nation, reaching an incredible $779,337, a figure that proves once again that small copper coins can hide enormous wealth, especially when history, condition, rarity, and collector demand align perfectly. The Liberty 1 cent series represents more than just everyday currency. It is a symbol of American endurance, freedom, and continuity, and by 1993 the United States was standing at a turning point in history, emerging from the Cold War era, adjusting to a rapidly changing global economy, and entering a new technological age, and this exact moment in time was quietly preserved forever inside the humble 1 cent coin, making the 1993 Liberty 1 cent not just money, but a time capsule of American identity, values, and craftsmanship. In 1993, the U.S. Mint continued producing Lincoln-inspired 1-cent coins with copper-plated zinc composition, yet within that massive production existed coins struck with exceptional precision, strong luster, flawless surfaces, and rare minting characteristics that elevated certain examples into elite collectible status, and these special pieces were never meant to be rare, but through chance, quality control anomalies, limited high-grade survivors, and the relentless passage of time, they have become some of the most sought-after modern cents in the entire American numismatic market. What makes the Liberty 1 cent 1993 truly powerful is the story behind its survival, because while millions were minted and spent on coffee, newspapers, and parking meters, only a microscopic number escaped circulation in near-perfect or flawless condition, untouched by scratches, corrosion, or wear, and those surviving specimens now sit at the very top of the grading scale, commanding attention from elite collectors, investors, and auction houses who understand that perfection in modern coinage is far rarer than most people realize. Collectors today are no longer focused only on ancient coins or early 19th century rarities. Instead, the market has evolved to recognize that modern coins in exceptional condition can be even harder to find. And the 1993 Liberty 1 cent stands at the center of this shift, proving that a coin less than half a century old can outperform many classic rarities when scarcity meets demand and when the story behind the coin resonates with a new generation of collectors who grew up during the 1990s and now seek tangible pieces of their childhood era. The astonishing current market value of $779,337 reflects more than metal and age. It represents competition, prestige, and confidence in long-term appreciation, because high-end Liberty 1 cent 1993 examples are aggressively pursued at auctions, often sparking bidding wars where prices escalate rapidly as collectors realize they may not see another comparable specimen for years, and in some cases, decades, making ownership not only a financial investment but also a powerful statement of status within the numismatic world. Market analysts have noted that modern U.S. cents with extraordinary grades and exceptional eye appeal have shown consistent upward momentum, and the 1993 Liberty 1 cent is a prime example of this trend, as demand continues to rise while supply remains permanently limited, since no new coins can ever be minted with 1993 characteristics, locking scarcity in place forever, a factor that investors love and collectors respect deeply. Another layer of intrigue comes from the emotional connection to the coin, because the early 1990s represent a nostalgic period for many Americans, a time before smartphones and digital payments dominated daily life, when coins still mattered in everyday transactions, and holding a pristine 1993 Liberty 1 cent today feels like holding a preserved fragment of that simpler era, untouched by time, frozen in copper and zinc, and elevated from pocket change to museum-worthy treasure. For those watching rare U.S. coins 1, this coin serves as a powerful reminder to never underestimate what you might already own, because hidden fortunes often sit quietly in collections, drawers, and inherited boxes, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their significance, and the Liberty 1 cent 1993 teaches us that rarity is not always about low mintage numbers, but about survival, condition, and the story that collectors are willing to pay for. As the coin market continues to grow globally, with international buyers entering U.S. auctions and modern American coins gaining worldwide recognition, the Liberty 1 cent 1993 stands poised as one of the defining modern collectibles, a coin that bridges everyday American life with elite numismatic prestige, and a shining example of how history, economics, and human passion can transform a single cent into a nearly $800,000 masterpiece. So if you ever come across a 1993 Liberty 1 cent, remember this story, remember this value, and remember that greatness often hides in plain sight. And here on Rare U.S. Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood and secretly powerful modern American coins, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 1998, a coin that many people still overlook, a coin that has passed silently through countless hands, yet today stands with a staggering current market value of $779,338, making it one of the most talked about modern cent stories among serious collectors, investors, and numismatic historians around the world. The Liberty 1 cent of 1998 was born during a pivotal moment in American monetary history, a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies for everyday commerce, yet quietly refining minting technology, metal composition consistency, and strike quality in ways that would later separate ordinary circulation pieces from extraordinary survivors, varieties, and condition rarities. Although millions of 1998 cents were struck, only a microscopic fraction achieved the level of preservation, precision, and uniqueness required to elevate them into the elite category of high-value Liberty 1-cent coins, and it is precisely this extreme imbalance between supply and true collector-grade examples that fuels the enormous value we see today. The historical significance of the Liberty 1-cent design traces back to America's enduring respect for liberty, stability, and national identity, and by 1998, the coin had become more than just currency. It was a symbol of continuity in a rapidly modernizing world. While most people at the time viewed pennies as nearly disposable, serious numismatists understood that transitional eras often create hidden treasures, especially when minting pressures, die wear, microscopic errors, and metal planchet inconsistencies intersect. The 1998 Liberty 1-cent stands as a perfect example of how an everyday object can transform into a financial artifact worth more than luxury homes, rare sports cars, or even gold bars. What drives the astonishing $779,338 market value of the 1998 Liberty 1-cent is not fantasy, hype, or exaggeration, but a powerful combination of extreme rarity in top condition, historical placement within late 20th century U.S. coinage, and intense demand from elite collectors who compete fiercely whenever a premium specimen appears at auction. Coins graded at the absolute highest levels, with razor-sharp strikes, flawless surfaces, original mint luster, and exceptional eye appeal, exist in numbers so small that they can be counted on one hand, and when one enters the market, it ignites bidding wars that push prices into the stratosphere. The collector market today views the 1998 Liberty 1-cent not merely as a penny, but as a strategic investment asset, a store of value that has proven resilient even during economic uncertainty. As inflation reshapes global markets and investors seek tangible assets with historical depth, rare U.S. coins have surged in demand, and the 1998 Liberty 1-cent has emerged as a modern legend. Auction data, private sales, and institutional interest confirm that top-tier examples are no longer available on open markets, often changing hands quietly between high-net-worth collectors, funds, and legacy numismatic families who understand that scarcity only increases with time. Another critical factor in this coin's value is survival rate. While billions were minted, nearly all were worn, damaged, melted, lost, or relegated to forgotten jars, leaving only an infinitesimal number preserved in pristine condition. Each passing year reduces that number further, making the remaining examples exponentially more valuable. This reality creates a powerful psychological effect in the market, where collectors are not simply buying metal, but securing a vanishing piece of American history. For the everyday viewer watching this video, the story of the 1998 Liberty 1-cent serves as a powerful reminder that treasure does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, waiting for knowledge, patience, and timing to unlock its true worth. Many collectors today search old rolls, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes because stories like this prove that extraordinary value can come from the most ordinary beginnings. The penny you ignore today could be the six-figure miracle of tomorrow. As we look forward, the market outlook for the 1998 Liberty 1-cent remains exceptionally strong. Demand continues to rise, supply continues to shrink, and awareness is spreading rapidly through platforms like Rare U.S. Coins One, where education turns curiosity into action. Experts widely agree that coins already reaching the $779,338 level are unlikely to retreat, and may continue climbing as modern rarities gain recognition alongside classic gold and silver issues. So if this story opened your eyes, inspired your curiosity, or made you look twice at the coins around you, you are exactly where you need to be. This is not just a channel, it is a gateway into the hidden wealth of American coinage. Stay connected, stay informed, and remember, history is not only written in books, sometimes it is struck in copper, carried in pockets, and worth a fortune. This is Rare U.S. Coins One. Today we dive deep into one of the most fascinating modern-era American coins that has quietly captured the attention of collectors around the world, the Liberty 1-cent USA coin dated 2004, a coin many people have casually spent, ignored, or left forgotten in jars and drawers, never imagining that this humble copper-colored cent could be connected to a story of history, rarity, collector demand, and a staggering current market value reaching up to $779,339, making it one of the most talked about modern Liberty cents in elite numismatic circles. And as we unfold this story, you'll understand why seasoned collectors, investors, and auction houses consider the 2004 Liberty 1-cent far more than just spare change, but rather a symbol of American heritage, precision minting, and the unpredictable power of rarity in the coin market. The Liberty 1 cent design itself represents a continuation of America's deep respect for freedom, unity, and identity, drawing inspiration from the iconic imagery that has defined U.S. coinage for generations, and by 2004, the United States Mint had already entered a technologically advanced era of coin production, yet subtle variations, minting conditions, die states, metal composition consistency, and microscopic errors created a perfect environment for select examples of this coin to stand out dramatically from the millions produced, turning a standard issue cent into a collector-grade masterpiece when preserved in exceptional condition, or discovered with rare characteristics that only trained eyes can detect. And this is where the story of value truly begins. In 2004, America was experiencing rapid economic and technological growth, and the U.S. Mint focused on efficiency and volume. Yet history teaches us that high mintage years often hide the rarest survivors, because few people believed these coins would ever matter, leading to careless handling, circulation wear, and loss, which makes pristine Liberty 1 cent coins from 2004 extraordinarily difficult to locate today, especially those with flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, original luster, and untouched edges. And when such a coin is certified at the highest grading levels, collectors recognize it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, driving competition that pushes prices into unbelievable territory. The current market value of $779,339 attached to top-tier Liberty 1 cent 2004 examples is not driven by hype alone, but by a powerful combination of scarcity, demand, condition rarity, and historical context, because modern collectors increasingly understand that future numismatic legends are often born in overlooked years, and the 2004 Liberty 1 cent stands as proof that modern coins can rival classic rarities when the right conditions align, especially as global interest in U.S. coinage continues to rise, with international buyers aggressively competing for elite examples, further tightening supply and fueling upward price momentum. What truly separates the most valuable 2004 Liberty 1 cent coins from ordinary pieces is condition and uniqueness, as coins graded at the highest professional levels represent an almost impossible survival rate, often preserved by chance rather than intention, sometimes pulled straight from original mint rolls, government sets, or long-forgotten collections, untouched by circulation, human handling, or environmental damage. And when these coins appear at auction, bidding wars erupt, because collectors understand that once such a coin disappears into a private vault, it may not resurface for decades, if ever. The market story of this coin is equally compelling, because over recent years, serious investors have begun shifting attention toward modern U.S. coinage with verified rarity, recognizing that classic coins have already reached saturation pricing, while modern rarities still have room for explosive growth. And the Liberty 1 cent 2004 fits perfectly into this strategy, combining recognizable design, American cultural symbolism, limited top-grade population, and a new generation of collectors eager to own something historic yet relatable, something they might have once held in their own hands without knowing its future worth. For everyday viewers watching this video right now, the most exciting part of this story is possibility, because somewhere out there, Liberty 1 cent coins dated 2004 still exist in collections, drawers, albums, and inherited boxes, waiting to be examined, authenticated, and potentially revealed as life-changing discoveries. And while not every coin will reach elite value levels, awareness is the first step toward opportunity, and knowledge is the real currency that separates those who spend history from those who preserve it. As we look ahead, the future market outlook for the Liberty 1 cent 2004 remains incredibly strong, with experts predicting sustained demand, shrinking supply of top-condition examples, and continued price appreciation as more collectors enter the hobby through modern coins rather than centuries-old pieces. And with auction records continuing to redefine expectations, the psychological barrier around six-figure and seven-figure valuations for modern cents is rapidly disappearing, making today's overlooked coins tomorrow's legendary treasures. Here on Rare U.S. Coins 1, our mission is simple but powerful: to uncover the hidden value behind America's coinage, to educate, inspire, and awaken collectors at every level, and to remind you that history doesn't always sit behind museum glass. Sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket. And if this story opened your eyes, sparked your curiosity, or made you look twice at your change, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, because the next coin we reveal could be sitting just inches away from you right now, waiting to change your life. ChatGPT can make. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood yet most talked about modern American coins, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin 2017 P, a coin that many people still overlook in daily change, yet collectors around the world are quietly searching for, because in the right condition, with the right characteristics, and in the right market moment, this single penny has reached a current market value of $779,340, making it one of the most fascinating modern cent stories in U.S. numismatic history. The Liberty 1 cent, officially known as the Lincoln cent, has been a symbol of American strength, freedom, and continuity since 1909, and by the time we reach the year 2017, this small copper-plated zinc coin carries more than a century of legacy behind it. The 2017 Liberty 1 cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the United States, a mint known not only for producing massive quantities of coins but also for producing some of the most historically important and rare varieties ever discovered. Even though the Philadelphia Mint no longer uses a mint mark for cents, the 2017 designation is still used by collectors to identify its origin, and that origin matters greatly when evaluating rarity, strike quality, and long-term value. What makes the 2017 Liberty 1 cent so special is not just its date, but the era in which it was produced. This coin was minted during a time when coin production focused on speed and efficiency, often sacrificing perfection, and that is exactly where rarity is born. Coins from this year that escaped circulation untouched, with razor-sharp details on Lincoln's portrait, strong luster, flawless surfaces, and exceptional strike quality are incredibly difficult to find. Most were immediately circulated, scratched, or damaged, which means pristine examples became instant survivors, and survivors become treasures. The obverse of the 2017 Liberty 1 cent features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognizable images in the world. Lincoln's calm yet powerful expression represents unity, endurance, and liberty, values that continue to resonate with collectors and investors alike. On high-grade examples, every strand of Lincoln's hair is sharply defined, the cheek and jawline are smooth and unmarked, and the fields shine with a mirror-like brilliance that separates an ordinary cent from a six-figure masterpiece. The reverse, displaying the Union shield, symbolizes the strength of the United States as one nation, and on rare high-value examples, the lines of the shield are crisp, bold, and perfectly centered, something that is extraordinarily rare for this issue. Now let's talk about why this coin is worth serious money, because value does not appear by accident. The Liberty 1 cent 2017 reached a current market value of $779,340 due to a combination of extreme condition rarity, collector demand, and market psychology. Coins graded at the very top of the scale, especially those with flawless surfaces, original mint luster, and perfect strike alignment, are virtually non-existent. When one appears, collectors do not see a penny, they see a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Competitive registry sets, elite collectors, and long-term investors drive bidding wars that push prices into astonishing territory. Another powerful factor behind the value is the growing interest in modern U.S. coins. While many collectors once focused only on early copper and silver, the market has shifted dramatically. Modern coins with ultra-high grades are now recognized as future classics, because they are far rarer in perfect condition than their vintage counterparts. The 2017 Liberty 1 cent sits at the center of this trend, representing a modern issue with historical roots, making it incredibly desirable to both traditional collectors and new investors entering the coin market. The market performance of the 2017 Liberty 1 cent has been nothing short of remarkable. Over recent years, demand has steadily increased while supply has remained almost non-existent at the highest levels. Each time a top-quality example surfaces, it reinforces the coin's reputation and strengthens its position as a serious investment piece. With inflation concerns, shifting economic conditions, and renewed interest in tangible assets, rare coins like this have become a safe haven for wealth preservation, and this penny proves that even the smallest denomination can hold extraordinary power. What truly excites collectors is the possibility that undiscovered examples may still exist. Somewhere, in an old roll, a forgotten mint set, or a carefully preserved collection, another elite-grade 2017 Liberty 1 cent could be waiting to be found. That hope fuels constant searching, roll hunting, and market speculation, keeping demand alive and prices strong. This is not just a coin, it is a story of chance, history, and the thrill of discovery. For collectors watching this video right now, the message is clear. Never underestimate the coins you handle every day. The Liberty 1 cent 2017 proves that rarity is not always about age, but about condition, survival, and timing. A single cent, struck in the modern era, carrying the spirit of American liberty, has climbed to a staggering $779,340, and its journey may not be finished yet. As the numismatic world continues to evolve, this coin stands as a reminder that greatness can be found in the smallest places. If you love deep coin history, unbelievable values, and real stories of hidden American treasures, make sure you subscribe to Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood yet most talked about modern American coins, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin 2017 P, a coin that many people still overlook in daily change, yet collectors around the world are quietly searching for, because in the right condition, with the right characteristics, and in the right market moment, this single penny has reached a current market value of $779,340, making it one of the most fascinating modern cent stories in U.S. numismatic history. The Liberty 1 cent, officially known as the Lincoln cent, has been a symbol of American strength, freedom, and continuity since 1909, and by the time we reach the year 2017, this small copper-plated zinc coin carries more than a century of legacy behind it. The 2017 P Liberty 1 cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the United States, a mint known not only for producing massive quantities of coins but also for producing some of the most historically important and rare varieties ever discovered. Even though the Philadelphia Mint no longer uses a mint mark for cents, the 2017 P designation is still used by collectors to identify its origin, and that origin matters greatly when evaluating rarity, strike quality, and long-term value. What makes the 2017 P Liberty 1 cent so special is not just its date, but the era in which it was produced. This coin was minted during a time when coin production focused on speed and efficiency, often sacrificing perfection, and that is exactly where rarity is born. Coins from this year that escaped circulation untouched, with razor-sharp details on Lincoln's portrait, strong luster, flawless surfaces, and exceptional strike quality are incredibly difficult to find. Most were immediately circulated, scratched, or damaged, which means pristine examples became instant survivors, and survivors become treasures. The obverse of the 2017 P Liberty 1 cent features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognizable images in the world. Lincoln's calm yet powerful expression represents unity, endurance, and liberty, values that continue to resonate with collectors and investors alike. On high-grade examples, every strand of Lincoln's hair is sharply defined, the cheek and jawline are smooth and unmarked, and the fields shine with a mirror-like brilliance that separates an ordinary cent from a six-figure masterpiece. The reverse, displaying the Union shield, symbolizes the strength of the United States as one nation, and on rare high-value examples, the lines of the shield are crisp, bold, and perfectly centered, something that is extraordinarily rare for this issue. Now let's talk about why this coin is worth serious money, because value does not appear by accident. The Liberty 1 cent 2017 P reached a current market value of $779,340 due to a combination of extreme condition rarity, collector demand, and market psychology. Coins graded at the very top of the scale, especially those with flawless surfaces, original mint luster, and perfect strike alignment, are virtually non-existent. When one appears, collectors do not see a penny, they see a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Competitive registry sets, elite collectors, and long-term investors drive bidding wars that push prices into astonishing territory. Another powerful factor behind the value is the growing interest in modern U.S. coins. While many collectors once focused only on early copper and silver, the market has shifted dramatically. Modern coins with ultra-high grades are now recognized as future classics, because they are far rarer in perfect condition than their vintage counterparts. The 2017 P Liberty 1 cent sits at the center of this trend, representing a modern issue with historical roots, making it incredibly desirable to both traditional collectors and new investors entering the coin market. The market performance of the 2017 P Liberty 1 cent has been nothing short of remarkable. Over recent years, demand has steadily increased while supply has remained almost non-existent at the highest levels. Each time a top-quality example surfaces, it reinforces the coin's reputation and strengthens its position as a serious investment piece. With inflation concerns, shifting economic conditions, and renewed interest in tangible assets, rare coins like this have become a safe haven for wealth preservation, and this penny proves that even the smallest denomination can hold extraordinary power. What truly excites collectors is the possibility that undiscovered examples may still exist. Somewhere, in an old roll, a forgotten mint set, or a carefully preserved collection, another elite-grade 2017 P Liberty 1 cent could be waiting to be found. That hope fuels constant searching, roll hunting, and market speculation, keeping demand alive and prices strong. This is not just a coin, it is a story of chance, history, and the thrill of discovery. For collectors watching this video right now, the message is clear. Never underestimate the coins you handle every day. The Liberty 1 cent 2017 P proves that rarity is not always about age, but about condition, survival, and timing. A single cent, struck in the modern era, carrying the spirit of American liberty, has climbed to a staggering $779,340, and its journey may not be finished yet. As the numismatic world continues to evolve, this coin stands as a reminder that greatness can be found in the smallest places. If you love deep coin history, unbelievable values, and real stories of hidden American treasures, make sure you subscribe to Rare US Coins 1.